Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are gonna be working on this Matchbox refrigerator truck, which I believe is a GMC according to that front grille. As you can see, this is not in very good shape. It's got to be missing that back door. We're gonna see if I can find it or maybe buy a replacement. I already went ahead and pre-drilled and tapped this. This front section is plastic, as you can see here. Maybe I'm gonna have to like lightly sand this, make it try to make it look a lot better. The corners here, and this part, as you can see on my previous video, I'm gonna cut the axle and then assemble it back together, and it looks like this part, it's riveted to the roof of the truck right here and here, and it also holds down the windshield. So I gotta drill here and here to be able to remove everything. Once I do that, I will be back to show you the inside of this truck. Okay, well guys, here it is. As you can see, I drilled apart those rivets. This thing used to go like this. Here goes the rivets inside, and also held in place the windshield. As you can see, there is not a lot of space here, so when I drilled, it went all the way through. But that really doesn't matter since nobody's going to be able to see it. Now I have to do some research to see what kind of door this thing had in the back. See if I could find it or buy it or replicate it. So now I'm just gonna cut out the wheels, the axles, and use some paint remover, get this ready for paint. Alright guys, hope this part of the video comes out good, because I've never recorded from this side. So here's the truck. I was looking on eBay for this side, for the back door. I did find it. It's the only guy that sell it. There's actually two guys selling it for like $3 and some change, which is not bad. But they're over it in United Kingdom, so the shipping was gonna be like 3 times the amount of the cost of the door. So that's really not an option for me. So I decided to make one. I got a few sheets of styrene on Amazon. I'm gonna leave you links. The pack comes with different sizes and thickness. So this here is basically the thickest one. Let's see, there it goes. As you can see, I gotta take this off. This one is actually the correct thickness, but then I won't be able to, create the hinge. I'm gonna put a little picture up on the screen showing what the original door looks like. So what I did is I selected another one which is a little bit thinner, and I cut a piece of the valve here to fill up a basketball, and I glued it to the side here, as you can see. To begin, I first cut out a template using a Hot Wheels blister. As you can see here, it has a little arrow telling me which side is up. So then from that I created the other ones. Now this one, let me see if I can install it here. I created this little dot. Let me know which side is up. This is a paper clip. This is gonna make the function for the door to swing, right? Let's see if I could do this here. The truck has a hole on the bottom here, so the paper clip is gonna go in through there. Let me see if I could do this. Remember the truck is not glued together, so it wants to fall apart. So I want the paper clip to go in through the little tube, as you can see. And it creates the door. But as you see on the pictures on the original door, you got some fake hinges on this side, and then you have what makes up like the locking mechanism on this side. So what I'm actually gonna do is I cut another piece with a thinner styrene sheet, and that's gonna go actually over everything, and that's gonna cover the little valve, as you can see here, right? And on top of that, I'm gonna have to trim it down. It's still rough. You saw on top of this part, I'm gonna use this brass rod, and this basically is going to create that little fake locking mechanism, and it needs to align with see, recording from this side, it's kind of difficult. As you can see here, there's a little tab here, so this is gonna align like this, make that like the original door, make believe of that thing. And then I got little pieces of styrene here, which I am going to create like the latch holding it to the door. And then I need to cut another little piece to create that bump stop here on the corner. So I gotta cut out those pieces, glue it together, and I will be back. All right, guys, check it out. That's how the door came out. It opens. Now all I have to do is paint the truck and paint the door and put the truck back together. So you can see I'm gonna cut this to length, and I'm gonna use hot glue in that little hole right there to hold it in place after I paint it. So as you can see, that's the finished product right here. It wasn't easy, but I was able to get it done. And by the way, I use this to put everything together. Not only does this glue the styrene together, it kind of melts melts. As you can see here, it deletes the two layers. You can barely see it. Now you have to be careful because if you apply too much, then you're gonna lose your the form that you already gave it. So don't go crazy with it. So here it is. Now let's paint this and put it together. All right, guys, check it out. Here is the finished product. As you can see there, the windshield is cracked. I really can't do anything about that. I've been thinking about trying to learn how to clone those windshields, maybe make them clear. So let's talk about a little bit of what I did here. But before that, I've been getting a lot of comments. People want to see how I paint and how I do a lot of the things. I think I've mentioned this on previous videos, but for my new subscribers, let me explain something. So I live on the East Coast. It is cold now, and I do these videos. I don't do in one day. It takes me about 5 days for each car. It doesn't mean that I do one car a week. I could be doing 3 or 4 cars at the same time, but if I'm gonna open a car, I'll record each part of that video, the beginning of each video for each car, and then I'll go along little by little. Like this truck right here, took me a little while to figure out how to make that door, and that's another process. It took me close to 45 minutes to be able to glue everything together and just get it perfect. It'd be impossible for me to have a camera recording all that. And for the painting, well, painting is to me is pretty straightforward, and it's kind of difficult for me to record while painting since I already told you that it's cold. And I basically have to I heat up the paint with hot water. I put the spray can in like a plastic cup with hot water that heats up the can, and the casting I put in an oven at 170 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the lowest my oven goes. So I basically have to rush. I don't know if you've seen my locking scissors. That's what I use to hold the casting. So I basically have to use a rag or a glove to grab the car out of the oven, spray it as quickly as I can out of a window, because it is cold outside, but I can't paint inside, because then the fumes will get really crazy. And put the car, it goes little by little, very light coats. Put it back in the oven. Don't let the car cool down, because then you get the humidity and the paint will just get messed up. So it goes by like really quick. It just spray, put it back in the oven, spray, put it back in the oven. I leave it like 5 seconds after I spray in the oven, and then when I'm done, it depends on the paint that I'm using. If I'm using the airbrush with the Redline Shop with the Spectre Flame, that paint can hold up to the heat. Actually, it cures better with the heat, so I can leave it maybe 10 minutes inside the oven, and I don't have to clear coat it. So 10 minutes, I just turn off the oven, open the door, and the casting, I just leave it there for like 10-20 extra minutes until it cools down by itself, and basically 30 minutes later I could touch it. You know, I don't have to wait a day or not, you know, to be able to work on it. With the spray can, this paint really doesn't like that much heat, so I have to move real fast because I can't leave it in the oven for more than 2 minutes, or it will start boiling. So what I do is, once I'm done painting, I basically have to leave the oven door open, and you know, keep checking on it, make sure it doesn't get too hot, and that's about it. So talk about that color. I wanted to paint the truck orange, but I didn't have orange. So what I did was I painted white, flat white first, and one or two coats, light coats, just enough to cover everything. And I did the same color I used on the Rolls Royce, the Rust-Oleum metallic charcoal. And then from the paints I've mentioned in the previous video, the Krylon with the little vase up in the front, I used the yellow first, cover everything yellow, and then I use red, and mixing the red on top of the yellow, it gives you an orange color. As you can see, it's not really orange. It, you know, it's kind of a weird orange, but that's exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, I think it gives it that vintage look. So here, let me stop this so I can show you the details. Like basically, I just finished painting those tail lights. If you didn't see my previous video, the red line video, I use a toothpick. See, still got the red paint. If we get focus, I don't want to focus. All right, whatever. So I just use a little dab, but I like to use Testors enamel red paint. You could get this in Michael's, Hobby Lobby, internet. Works pretty good. I've never tried to paint with the airbrush because you have to dilute it a lot, so never tried that before. So as you can see here, we got the door. I used kind of silver metallic, and that paint is like really runny, and I missed a spot here, but I guess it's wear and tear. So here we have the door. To be able to open it, you gotta get the little trick here, because there it goes. And now you have the door, working door. I might have had to make it a little shorter on this side, but you know, it works. It works perfect, because now when you open it, it won't close by itself. I created the axle like I've mentioned in my previous video. I use I cut a valve, one of those valves, and put the axles together. As you can see, the tires are still original. I was going to use the floor shine, but I wanted to get this done. I did the details with a Sharpie all around, and I used a Sharpie to paint the black insert first, and then I used one of the chrome pens for the GMC and the headlights there. So I also used the Sharpie to paint the tank here, the fuel tank. And this is, I guess it's part of the refrigerator unit also. I really like this casting, you know, I don't know. It doesn't have any seats, but you can't really see them because the windows are so dark. But you know, the details are very nice. I also used the chrome pen for the tip of the the axle, as you can see. So there it is, guys. Hope you liked it. And on the one of the previous video, I was asking if you guys wanted to see this Matchbox, even though it's in pretty good shape, since somebody asked, one of the subscribers asked to get one of these restored, and mostly everybody said yes. So we're gonna drill this one apart, and this is gonna be one of the next videos related to Matchbox. All right, guys, so here is the truck. I'm gonna put a few videos up here in the screen, and thank you for watching. And again, you know, this little part of the video, the end, I'm going on 10 minutes now. I really, you know, I really don't know how to make these videos shorter. Like I said, this casting right here probably has about 5 or 6 hours of work spread throughout a week. So 6 hours of work brought down to like 20 minutes. It's not really that bad. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.